Good morning, everyone. My name is Teresa Conroy-Roth, and I am here with Tonya T. Wallace. I'm super excited to have her join my Lightning Leadership Series. Tonya, welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited. Happy Wednesday
Happy
to
Wednesday.
you.
So Tonya, let's just kick this right off. Tell me, did you ever have a zap moment in leadership?
Woo! Yes, I think there
Tell-
might have been one to many. For me as a Black woman, I think back upon my life and I think back upon like being raised in an all white environment and how awkward I felt. I felt like an eagle in a chicken's coop, honestly, like a lot of my life. And I think about the times where I just did not feel like I fit. And I reflect upon that. And I think it was because I always thought at a higher and different pace of the people around me. I became a mother and people started to draw into me like, how are you doing what you do? You're raising, Division I athletes and your kids are so great and they're inspiring and they're awesome. And I became an entrepreneur in 2002 and business was easy and able to go and connect with people. But I think, Teresa, my zap moment had to be when I got into corporate America. And I started to look at the C suite level and I started to look at how they did things and how they just didn't lead with empathy and they didn't understand the people connection and really understood that my wings as an eagle had to do everything to do with emotional intelligence and understanding leadership at a higher level. So I think that getting into that, back into that corporate America and started to go and navigate my way up into leadership had to be like my pinnacle zap moment.
That things were happening and success was happening and the acknowledgement or the recognition was happening. Good stuff.
Yeah, I was super blessed last year to get the champion award at Cox Automotive. It is the highest award that you can get, and it crosses multiple leadership boundaries. So I feel like, hey, my natural abilities, my natural eagleship has actually landed, and it's great and incredible and very humbling to be recognized.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. So, we met for coffee, a year ago, a little bit
Yes,
more than a year.
yes.
You were just, again, one of those people. We have great people on this podcast series, but you were one of those people where I looked at you and thought, and we had an event that night. We had a Chick CIO women's wine event that night. And I just looked at you and said, you're coming, and I want you to meet some people, right?
Yes.
And there's something about you, right? And you just kind of go, no, she's it. She's got it.
Thank
Let's
you.
let's see what we can do. So again, so excited, still looking back on that day with the energy and
Yeah.
everything that you bring as a person. Just
Immediate connection. Like we
you
were like, please, love you.
I love you. So you've got solution delivery director for Cox Automotive. You're a
Yeah.
life coach and you're an executive business coach.
Yes.
Tell me how you hold it all together.
Ooh, that's a great question. So for me, emotional intelligence EQ, it's the biggest thing in my life. I feel like it helps me to become successful across professional, personal boundaries. But I'm also one of those people that I practice what I preach.
Okay.
And so I can't ask others to have high emotional intelligence in order to work with me or to be their optimal self if I don't have it, right? So if I don't know who I am, if I don't practice emotional regulation and empathy in my own life, I can't ask other people's to lead with empathy, right? And it's interesting, Teresa, because a lot of people understand success, right? Whether corporate, entrepreneurial, they understand that like success requires tactical skills, it requires intelligence, like the IQ portion of it. But that other side, that emotional intelligence side, where you regulate your emotions and you understand people just don't understand that it takes a blend to be successful, right?
It does.
So for me, I don't know if you, but I'm also going to offer it to your audience here. There's 5 basic tiers within emotional intelligence. Tier 1, the most basic of EQ, is self-awareness. That's just basic. The second tier is self-regulation. Then there's motivation. Empathy is way up there. It's number 4. And
Yeah.
social skills are like the top of the tier. So if you think about it from this perspective, there's a lot of leaders out there that say, oh, I lead with empathy. How many times have you and I heard that?
Way too many. Way too many. Everyone's empathetic and they're all experts at it.
Exactly. And I think it's like the buzzword, right? It's a buzz phrase, buzzword. But to be honest with you, if you just sit and look in the mirror, do you actually know yourself? Are you self-aware? Do you know how you show up in a room? Can you regulate your own behaviors? And there is a lot of leaders that honestly can't do that. So how is it that you can hit that empathy tier
Yeah.
if you don't even have basic self-awareness, right?
Love it.
So I figured today I would leave your audience with 3 tips. 3
I
tips.
will take those. We will take those. But it's something I have to, we all have to work on it, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think there's different points in my own career where I got it. There's other points where I was a bull in a china shop. I'm not sure that I would have want now to work for my 30-year-old self.
Ah,
Because there was a lot more ego, there was a lot more brashness, there was a lot more, there wasn't a servant leadership concept, right,
yeah,
that we kind of grew into today.
yeah.
And so I think I'm a much better coach. I'm a much better leader. I get to have crucial conversations with some key leaders in the community.
Yeah.
And so again, very different from a listening perspective, right?
Mm.
And a second perspective. So tell us about the 3 tips.
Yeah. First of all, I have to applaud you because there's a lot of people who just kind of bullnose through their life and get to the places where they get with and trample over people and really not understand that aspect of it. So bravo you. This is just one additional reason why you were just such a joy in my life. All right, guys. Tip number 1.
Tip number 1.
Take assessments. Take assessments, take assessments, take assessments. I am very blessed to be a part of the John Maxwell team, a DISC coach and facilitator and a consultant. And so DISC for me is the greatest assessment ever because it actually identifies behaviors. So it's a personality assessment that identifies behaviors. So within I don't know, between 2 and 5 minutes, you can boom, I can recognize one of 4 leading types of behaviors when I walk in the room, when I start to talk and engage with people. And I love to be able to teach people how to do that, right? So if you don't take DISC, you take Strengths Finder, if you take, HMI, whatever it is, take a few assessments and start to learn about yourself. Start to really, really understand your behaviors, how you think, how you regulate what goes in your mind and out your mouth, and how you interpret information and how you show up. So that's tip number 1. Take those assessments, do the work. Tip 2. Oh, if you know, here's the thing. If you know me, you know I'm giving homework. That's number 1. Stay woke. Please, please, please. Every day of your life, stay woke. That means that you take the information that you have gained, the understanding that you've learned about yourself and your behaviors, and then you start to identify those patterns, behaviors as you go through meetings, engage with your family, talk and address with your coworkers, and you're like, oh my gosh, I started to be impatient. I just caught myself, right? And then you start to really okay, what was my trigger? How did I show up in that environment? What happened? What your phrase was said? Those kind of things. You start to really understand yourself more when you stay woke. From an Agilist perspective, do your retrospectives on a weekly basis.
Yeah, great.
Time with yourself. What went well this week? What didn't go well this week? What are the lessons learned? What do I still need to know? And really do the work on yourself. All right, last one. You ready for this one?
I am. Number 3.
Lead with your strengths.
Amen.
Amen to that. So I find when I talk and work with a lot of people, they're afraid of their strengths. And it's very interesting to me because that's the biggest, boldest, loudest, brashest part that you need to show up with. And a lot of people are leading with their weaknesses. So when you start to do those assessments for yourself and you start to learn about who you are naturally and innately, find opportunities. If you're scared to do that professionally, find opportunities personally and grow in that strength. And then you'll find yourself naturally will start to lead with those strengths, and you'll find yourself just doing great in corporate America, entrepreneurship, whatever space, because that's truly you. And
Yeah.
that's truly what you can offer the world.
That is, I think so much of the time people will focus on their weaknesses. If I could just build my weaknesses, I could turn them into strengths. And you know what? That's not so easy to do.
Yeah.
But what is easy to do is to focus on your strengths, the things that you're really good at, and
Yeah.
try to find something, a path or a course, right, that helps you be you. And yes, you can obviously work on your weaknesses along the way, but those strengths, why, it's kind of like, why put a blanket over top of a light, right? Seriously, let the light shine, because that's who you are and that's what you're really good at. And so I
Yeah.
think people can identify those and then lead with that. Absolutely.
Yeah. And it takes so much energy to turn it off.
Oh,
So
it
much
does.
energy.
It does. Not that I have any idea what that means. Hence the podcast. It's all good. It's all good. Well, Tonya, thank you so much for coming on.
Okay.
Now, if people want to find you, obviously they can pop out on LinkedIn
Yes.
and reach out. And is there any other way that you'd like to give a shout out for?
Just hit me in my inbox, give me a chat, let me know what's up.
I appreciate you. Thank
Thank
you
you so
again.
much.
And I will see you very soon, I think.
Yes, you absolutely will see me very soon.
Thanks.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Happy Wednesday. See you.